Good morning, grade 1. Welcome to your SST lesson for this week. Today we are going to learn about make a choice when buying. The objectives of our lesson are to discuss the meaning and consequences of scarcity and to identify the choices people make when buying goods and services. Now students, in today's lesson you are going to learn about scarcity and making choices when buying goods and services. Some things are scarce. When something is scarce, there is not enough of it to meet everyone's wants. What are wants? Wants are things people would like to have. People cannot buy everything they want. They must make choices. Now, when we call something scarce, we mean that there is not enough of it to meet everyone's wants, or not enough of it for everyone to have as much as they want. There is a limit to the amount of money that any person has. Families need to be careful not to waste money, or they may not have it to pay for some more important things. So you have to make choices in life because of limited amount of money, limited amount of resources available. You have to prioritize your wants. You have to label your wants, which is more important. You have to prioritize them. You have to get those first, and the ones that are not necessities, those are luxuries, have to be postponed for later on so that you can buy them later. Now when you make a choice, you give up some things to get other things you want. Follow these steps to make a good choice. You're going to always follow these steps when you want to make a good choice. You have to first of all ask yourself if you want this thing more than the other things. So whenever you see a couple of things and you cannot decide which item to select, you have to ask yourself which is more important out of these things. And then the second step is you have to think about what you would give up to have this thing. And then you're going to think, okay, out of these three items, I decide and I think this is more important for me. So I'm going to buy this. But wait, you still have to think, is it still that important for the amount of money that you are giving it for? So you're paying something to get that in return. Is it that important to pay this much money? You're going to think very carefully. And then this is the final and the most important step. You have to make your choice. You have to think, is it that important that I have to buy? Do I still need to buy? Do I really need to buy? So you are the one who has to make the choice. And the last step is very, very important. Now look at the pictures. Think about which thing you would like to buy. Follow the steps for making a choice. Tell what choice you would make and why. Now, you know already, in order to make a wise choice, you have to consider many things like how important each item is, the cost and benefit of each item, and what you might do instead of buying something. So you have to look at all these things. So look at these three things first. What is the first one? It's the tank with a fish in it. So he can get a fish as a pet, and or otherwise he can get a football or a chess game board or any other game board. So what he has to think first is which of these three is more important to him, and then he would see the cost of each item. So which is the one that relates, or that is in the budget that he has, and it comes in the money that he has in his pocket. And then he is going to think finally, does he really need that item? Do he really need to exchange the money with this item? Is it really that important? And then he should find out and then he's the one who has to decide it. So maybe he has enough money to buy the football, so he's going to buy the football then. Or he does not have enough money to buy any of these two, and he still has money to buy the chessboard, and he thinks that, do I do I really need this board game to for the amount of money that I have, or can I save up more money to buy a fish tank later on in future? So it's actually his choice. It's actually your choice when you are out there in the shop to decide. But you have to be very, very careful whenever you are buying something. Alright? You should always save your money to buy something important for later on, instead of buying things which you do not really need today. Now, what I want you to do is you have to do page 54 on your practice books. Now, students, make sure you finish all the work that I've been assigning you throughout the weeks. Thank you very much for joining in for your SST lesson. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and you understood well what I was trying to explain you today. Now, take care of yourself, stay safe, bye.